been working with Bridgetown Inc. since September consecutively, and I'm part of their serve team, and I was asked if I wanted to have a part in the internship this summer, and I accepted. Next year I will be starting at PCC. I'm doing a PCC, the PSU program. Academically, I want to major in marketing and minor in international business. This past summer, CSM was a big changing point for me, and somewhere where God showed me what He wanted me to do for this time. That's why I went to Bridgetown, because it was a commitment I made at CSM. My favorite verse comes from Zephaniah 3:17, and I take out a part of it, and it says, "He will quiet you with His love," and that verse really helps me to be grounded and just be in silence and wait for God in my quiet time, which is something that here in our youth group with Willie, he made very evident that was a part of our relationship with God that we needed. I want to thank First Baptist of Beaverton for always being there since I was 2 years old for me, bringing me up in my faith with God and always pushing me to have my own faith. And I want to thank the friends and family and the adults that have invested in my life, and I thank them for caring enough to point out when I was doing something wrong or be there for me when I needed them.
During my spare time, I like to read and I like to write. I like to play soccer and swim. Choir is amazing because I have a great teacher. He's very funny and gives a family feeling in the class. School-wise, it's going pretty well. I applied at PCC and I'm planning to go to Sylvania and become a nurse. I chose to be a nurse because my little sister's diabetic, and I've had to take care of her my whole life, and it just inspired me to progress in that area. For small groups, like the best thing for me is Tammy. She's a really good person to talk to, and I've been a troubled teen, so I mean, going and talking to her, she gives a lot of great advice, and I mean, the one thing that just stands out for me was she told me to let God take my path, I guess. She told me to just give it up to Jesus on my worries, and I don't think I've ever done that before. It's always been stress on me, and I didn't put any faith. So, like, that really struck me. Well, I have to give thanks to you, especially because you have helped me pass my geometry class. And thanks to Tammy because of all the moral support, and just the girls are really fun. They're just really fun and understanding, and we can all get along. It's a fun, safe place. Like in the beginning of the school year, I really didn't have much food in my house, so I would come here, and it was nice having some food to eat here, like a nice family dinner, and I mean, just really welcoming here, and I appreciate that. This summer to get a job and move out. That's my only goal.
When you do something wrong, your parents bail you out, and I think I'm gonna miss the fact that my parents were able to bail me out from things. This summer, I am actually going to be moving to New York for a month, and I'm gonna work at my grandfather's restaurant. I'm gonna be a hostess/server and potentially shadow one of the managers. Next year, I will be attending the University of Denver, which is in like the heart of Denver, right there. And I will be studying hospitality management to be a wedding planner or a hotel manager. My dream job would be working on a cruise ship, being the event planner on a cruise ship. I was always the kid in class who would answer the questions, always the one who knew the answer to the Bible questions, because my mom, basically. And I remember, it was the first time when I met Adrian Garrido, and I remember he came into class, and it was the first time I'd ever felt jealousy, because he was answering all the questions, and he comes in, and he's like, he's raising his hand, and I'm just like, Adrian, who is this kid? Freshman year, do not mess up your freshman year. Do not walk into high school and think that it's just a cakewalk. It's not. And you don't have to be ashamed to ask for help. Everybody needs help sometime. I think that my favorite story growing up, and especially takes heart to me now, would be the story of Esther. And it sounds cliche, but because I'm a woman too, that's kind of empowering. But I think more of the fact that I look at their relationship between Esther and her cousin, Mordecai, I think is what his name was, and I look at their relationship as that was somebody who had her back, and that was such a relationship that just saved both of their lives, and I can only hope for something like that in the future. I can't thank the church enough for everything that they have done for me and my family throughout the years. I can't even describe what I have gone through in this building with this group of people, and I will always be grateful to the adults who showed me a lot of compassion. I will also take pride in the adults who believed in me and wanted me to succeed. And when I'm in college, I think that the one thing I could take away from the church is, like I would want, hopefully, is that they just wish the best for me. But it's just gonna be really hard to be in college and be on my own and not have my mom there for me. And it's really nice that I do have other quote unquote moms like Alison Belial and Lee Teague, and Petty Garrido. Like, it's been so nice to have them as second moms, but it is gonna be really hard to be without her for this year, because my mom kind of got it.
Plans for this summer are going to be with my family. We're going to see relatives down south in Louisiana and Texas. Some of my lifelong goals would be, as I mentioned before, focusing on my story and using that and whatever comes of it to bring about some sort of ministry opportunity for myself, to bless the people around me, provide them with jobs if that does come about. Next year, I'm going to be a student at Corban University in Salem. Some few possible majors that I might be having, or might go into in college, would be music, since I've had a good history with music these past few years, especially with the bass guitar and being on worship team both at my school and at church. Most of my favorite memories coming from FBC have been from the mission trips over the past 5 years that I've gone. Mostly, and some of my favorite parts is Yosemite and freaking Willie out by going over the ledges and running ahead of the group. A word of advice for the underclassmen that are still yet to graduate, I would say, or still going into high school, I'd say just trust in the Lord and find peace in every day, because I have, and I know that it truly makes life a lot easier. I could say this. Even though I know half of you half as well as I should like, and I like half of you half as well as you deserve, I just want to thank you for being such a great church, and I wish I could have known you half that more.
In my spare time, I like to hang out with friends, play lacrosse, and sing. Next year, I will be attending Corban University in Salem. I will be starting off majoring psychology. I can see myself down the road definitely working with kids. I love little kids and being able to teach them new things. I could also see myself in the future having something to incorporate with music or social work. I love people and I love getting to know people, and one life-changing experience I had with our youth group was going on the Revolve tour with my small group, and I was able to invite a few friends, and the experience there, just being able to praise God with a stadium full of girls, was just really life-changing and motivational and just very impactful. Walking into this church, I was kind of scared and came in with a friend not really knowing what to expect, but I met so many wonderful people that really welcomed me into the church at my very first day, and I'm just really thankful that throughout this year and a half I've grown to know them and get to really know them one-on-one as people, and I'm really thankful for the family I have here now. Some advice that I have for the younger ones in our youth group would have to be to really stick to your daily devotions and to continue growing in the Word. My life as a teenager can get really crazy at times, and I have found that if I don't read my daily devotions every morning, I get really lost throughout the day. I get really negative and can never really connect with people as easily. So reading my Bible every morning and having a 10 to 15 minute prayer time with God every morning and every night is really beneficial and keeps me in the positive, spunky mood that you all love and adore.